Todd and I got in the roofing business. My brother Todd actually went, as he was going to college, he was working with a friend of the family, and that's how he paid his way through college. I only did it for about 6 months. I was literally tearing off shingles, carrying bundles up and down the ladder, cleaning up the trash. Not a lot of fun. So I decided very early on that roofing probably wasn't for me. And then a couple years went by. I was helping my stepfather build some spec houses. I ended up putting the roof on one of those homes, literally just flipping over the bundle and the directions are right there. That's how I put my first roof on. I ended up getting a job with MI Homes. I borrowed my father's ladder, put it on top of my Honda Civic hatchback, and that's kind of how Fiesel Roofing was born. So that was in 1988. Within the first year, my brother came back. Todd came back. He was out of state, quit his job, came back to work with me full time and build the company. So we've been partners for over 30 years. Quickly realized new construction wasn't the direction we wanted to go. Started doing more on the remodeling side, replacing homeowners' roofs, and continued to grow the business from there. With about 3.5, 4 years in, we had grown the company to a point where I realized being at the size we were was really tough. We needed to either grow the company more or go back to being smaller. We were really kind of at the top of our glass ceiling, if you will. And then just from there, continued to grow the company over the next 25 years and really build it into a successful local brand that had a household name. And I think just heart, not wanting to give up. And I would have to give a lot of that to my brother. In the early years, many times I wanted to throw in the towel. My brother just grinds it out. He's one of those guys, just won't ever give up. And he gets that from my father. The industry had changed so dramatically from 1988 to 2013. The market started to change to the point where in the early years of Fiesel Roofing, almost 100% of roofing contractors did roofing repairs. And they should, that's part of servicing customers. Today, in 2020, 70% of roofing contractors don't do repairs. They don't tell the customer that. They want to use that as a way to come out to the home and then try to convince you to buy a new roof, even if your roof doesn't need replaced for another 5 or 6 years. All while that was happening, the roofing manufacturers started to repackage their product, and what was called a 25 became called they changed it to a 30, and then to a 40, then to a 50, and many of the manufacturers today call it a lifetime product that weighs 1/3 less than the old 30-year product back in the 80s and early 90s. So now the consumers, in my opinion, is getting ripped off. They think they're buying one thing and they're really getting another. These roofs are failing in 10, 15, 20 years. So we started to see staining happening at 10 and 15 years. And then you started seeing it happen at 7 and 8 years. Today we see roofs in neighborhoods that were built 3 and 4 years ago starting to get streaks, which is an indication of even less asphalt and more crushed limestone. So the industry's only gotten worse, not better. The average roofing contractor doesn't care about a repair. He wants to replace a roof, so he's going to push replacement. I would say that there's twice as much product being roughly manufactured today than there should be, which means there's twice as much money being wasted, twice as much natural resources being wasted. Landfills are filling up twice as quick with construction debris. I wasn't happy to wake up every day and go to work. I didn't feel good about what we were doing. I didn't feel good about the industry. And 25 years is a long time to do anything. And that's, those are part of the reasons. There's a number of reasons, but that's part of the reason that we wanted out of the industry. We didn't feel good about it. It had gone from bad to worse. And so it just didn't make sense anymore. We wanted out. Ultimately, we had the opportunity to sell the company. We took that opportunity. It was we were excited to take that opportunity. Didn't know I would jump back in the roofing business. Then we started getting this whole idea of how can we extend the life of roofs. And we had talked about that back when we owned Fiesel Roofing. What we were missing was the ability to increase the life of the asphalt shingle. And that's kind of how Roof Maxx was born and all of that happened. We partnered with Battelle Labs, the Soybean Council. They funded a lot of the research and development. Battelle Labs, the world's largest research and development company, happens to be in Columbus, Ohio. and they helped design this technology, develop this technology, and then Ohio State University's been involved with a lot of the testing of the technology. So some really world-class partners we've brought together. I don't believe that Mike and Todd Fiesel, two roofers from Columbus, Ohio, would have figured this out on their own. But collectively, with our understanding of roofing and their understanding of bio-based technologies, you know, it was a really perfect marriage. Roof Maxx made sense because it's an all-natural product, soy-based. You know, it penetrates down into the shingles, and it just restores the oils. Overspray isn't an issue. It's down in the shingles within 30 minutes. It's much more cost-effective to do it. The labor force can be very unskilled. It's very easy to train somebody to apply Roof Maxx. You know, the product does the work. You know, it's really not. You don't need quality labor to install Roof Maxx. You really need highly skilled labor to install a quality roof system. So the dynamic is much different. The great thing about Roof Maxx is that it's a repetitive process. You know, we can retreat over and over again, especially if we catch it in the early years. The effects on that are amazing. I mean, it's obviously keeping money in people's pockets. It's keeping raw materials in the ground longer, natural resources, and it's keeping debris out of landfills. So, you know, it's really a full circle thing. You know, it's kind of closing the loop, so it's a positive thing for everyone. Bringing Roof Maxx into the market is such a different experience than the roof replacement business. It's completely 180. So 180 doing Roof Maxx because I feel that we are really impacting people's lives in a big way, whether it be our dealers, and so we're giving them opportunity, but more so what we're doing for the consumer, and then therefore the planet. I feel now that we're really doing things that are positive. It's not a business just about profit. There's also a social aspect to it, and that's becoming more and more common with a lot of businesses today. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more excited. It's been very, very amazing, and it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Everything we learned set us up to understand the opportunity that Roof Maxx is today. We certainly couldn't have done what we've done without our past experience, but without our current base of people. And that would even be our dealers, because we just have an amazing network of people. It's just incredible. So it's been an amazing ride. Love it. So, yeah, excited to get up every day and go to work.